Coming up on CTV News tonight, the inquest into the deaths of the victims of February's earthquake moves from the CTV building to the PGC building. Welcome to CTV News, I'm Rob Cope-Williams. The inquest into the deaths of February's earthquake victims today began with the 18 people that died in the PGC building. Emily Cooper was at the inquest.
Today's inquest moved from the CTV building to the victims who died in the collapse of the PGC building. After looking at the victims from the PGC building, the hearing began to look at those who died around the CBD and one who died in the press building. The four-storied PGC building suffered almost complete collapse, killing 18 people. 28 people died in various areas of the city, particularly on Colombo Street, Manchester Street, Gloucester Street and on two buses. As with the CTV staff inquest on Monday, there were around 40 family members in attendance, unlike yesterday for 64 foreign students when there were only around 5. As with previous days, family members were able to ask the coroner if they had any questions or issues they wanted to raise. A number of the victims' families asked to see a copy of the appendixes relating to the deaths of their loved ones. These files are available for the families to view. However, Coroner Gordon Martinga suggested if viewing the graphic material caused further suffering to the families, he suggested they did not view it. The inquest found the majority of the victims' cause of death was crush injuries, asphyxia and severe body trauma. The inquest will continue tomorrow and is due to be finished on Friday.
Environment Minister Nick Smith paid a visit to the town of Lincoln yesterday. Dr Smith started off at the Lincoln University to launch its Wildlife Management and Conservation Centre. He then paid a visit to Lincoln Kids' first kindergarten, where the children showed him what they were doing to preserve the environment. The kindergarten was the first in New Zealand to be awarded an EnviroSchools Green Gold Award for sustainability work and education. The kindy has lots of green initiatives, from worm farms to rat-free lunches. Children sang Dr Smith a song and presented him with a painting that they had made as a thank you for visiting and for last week's announcement of a $12 million plan to clean up Lake Ellesmere. He then went on to the nearby Mahoe Reserve, where he planted a tree and met with the town's environment leaders. Finally, he visited Lincoln New World Supermarket to see its wind turbines, which are used to generate electricity. Coming up after the break, another initiative in the hope to attract more tourists to Canterbury. Welcome back. Canterbury Tourism is hoping an Air New Zealand initiative will attract more tourists to town, especially with the upcoming Rugby World Cup.
Christchurch tourism may be down, but it's not out, and its leaders are fighting to attract visitors to the city when the attractions are elsewhere during the Rugby World Cup.
It's been a long, hard winter for people in Christchurch, and particularly for our tourism sector since the earthquake. So we felt, could we come up with an initiative that could get people, from around New Zealand visiting Christchurch and actually spending a bit of money with our tourism activities.
And Air New Zealand is helping out.
They've offered us a deal for people coming to Christchurch, return trip, $50 off any fare from anywhere in New Zealand. So you could even get $50 off a grab a seat fare.
The deal runs for the next 2 months, and with Christchurch not hosting any Rugby World Cup games, Mr Hunter still expects to see a lot of international visitors travelling to the city.
There are games in Nelson, there are games in Dunedin and Invercargill. A lot of people are self-driving around New Zealand. They are interested in Christchurch. They're going to come into the city, and we already know that a lot of people are staying with friends and relatives over that time as well.
And the earthquake destruction has become a kind of tourist attraction.
It's part of our history now. People want to come and hear the story, they want to see it. Yes, it will attract some visitors into the city.
With hardly any accommodation available, Cantabrians are being encouraged to invite friends and family to stay.
What we don't have in Christchurch is a lot of free available commercial accommodation. So the idea of getting people to come and stay with their friends and relatives is fantastic because it solves that problem.
And putting up with the mother-in-law or any slightly annoying relatives may have its benefits for those in Canterbury too.
The 2-for-1 deals are to get people, when they come and stay, to get out there, cruise on the harbour, play golf at Terrace Downs, go to the Antarctic Centre or Willow Bank, and they can take a friend for free.
Mr Hunter says with Christchurch visitor numbers down significantly since February's earthquake, it's been a challenging few months for many of our tourism operators, many of whom had expected spring to be very busy because of the Rugby World Cup. So initiatives like these are essential in attracting people to the city.
Christchurch City Libraries have introduced a new electronic system where customers can download their books without making a trip to their local library.
Reading a book from the comfort of your own home has become even easier, with keen readers now able to download Christchurch City Library books onto their computers. And with 1,600 to choose from, there's no need to venture outdoors and browse through that endless display of shelved books.
There's real demand for e-books out there. People are buying e-books. As you know, a lot of books are being published in that format. So it's part of libraries being in the 21st century and actually using these formats and buying them and making them available for customers.
And it's as simple as this.
And if we click on the Use Overdrive Now link, then it takes us through to the actual titles. So we've got new ebooks here, we've got categories here, fiction, non-fiction there, and we've also got children's and teens down here, and we've got audiobooks as well here. So all offered through Overdrive, and you can just scroll through using the little arrows on the right. Just take you through till you see a title that you like the look of.
So with an enthralling read only a click away, book enthusiasts can now access any genre within seconds.
I would expect that we'll probably grow the collection as time goes on and as money permits. We've got books really for everyone, fiction, non-fiction, we've got classics, we've got adult books, children's books, teens books. So the whole idea is to have a great range of content so that there's something for everybody.
Downloading books usually costs readers, but with Christchurch City Libraries offering free downloads, it's the same principle as going to the library, then paying a visit to the bookstore, but just a different experience when it comes to reading the book.
What we do is buy a subscription which allows us access to thousands of titles at once for a very much more cost-effective way than individuals buying them.
As for late fees, there are none.
And you get it issued out, if you like, for a certain period. And what I love about it is you can't rack up overdue charges because it just automatically expires. The issue or loan expires at the end of the period.
But this isn't the first time books have become electronic. However, it is the beginning of downloadable books for Christchurch Libraries, which is one of the first places in New Zealand to take heed of the 21st century through this initiative.
And we've had audiobooks in tape format and in CD format for years. Nearly 2 years ago, we started with downloadable audio, and that's been hugely popular.
The earthquakes have closed a lot of library services around the city, so being able to access information and tap into the more recreational side of reading electronically has become very popular.
It's about how we can get access to information without actually coming into a library. If your local library is closed or whatever, or it's just more difficult for you to get around at the moment, which it often is, then having online information through our website is really a very convenient way of getting access.
Coming up after the break, it's your local weather. Welcome back. Hoonhay School is the only school selected to compete in the National Hip Hop Championships being held in Wellington in a few weeks.
Strive 8025 are jiving their way to the top, having won the Canterbury Regional Hip Hop Championships and securing a place in the national competition. The Hoonhay School hip hop team will travel to Lower Hutt in a few weeks to compete for their dream of becoming the country's best dance team. And if competition in their hometown wasn't enough, they're about to have a lot more to compare themselves with.
There wasn't a huge amount of competition in Christchurch here. Obviously it's been a bit of a different year for people this year, but they've qualified for the Nationals, which is up in Lower Hutt on the 17th of September, so there'll be a good amount of competition up there.
The Year 4s and 5s qualified for Nationals last year but missed out on competing, making this year all the more exciting.
They are very excited. I think that, they're really excited. They've worked really hard.
We're all excited and we're just all keen on going to Nationals in Wellington, so it's going to be a great time up there.
And plus we won last year, but we didn't get to go though.
As for practice, they can't get enough, meeting in their lunchtimes and after school, dance teacher or not.
So we have a formal session an hour a week, but the kids are so into it and enthusiastic that they put in their own little practices probably every other day.
Age proving no barrier to organising themselves.
They're only Year 4 and 5, so 9 and 10 year olds, so they're actually doing really well for their age.
But practice is easy when it's something you love.
Well, it's like my favourite dancing and I really like doing it, and makes you feel free.
It has all the grooves in it and stuff, and all the good music.
As for getting to where they have, the team is sure to give credit where it's due.
It's been awesome.
She must be a pretty good teacher.
Yeah. She's been amazing and she's taught us lots of new moves and we've had a great experience with her.
And by the sounds of it, their teacher is just as proud.
The government has reassured Cantabrians and all New Zealanders that they should not have any concerns about their EQC claims being settled in full following yesterday's announcement that the EQC has revised its estimated Canterbury earthquake's liability upwards by over $3 billion. Here's Warren Head from the Headliners in your weekly business update to explain what this will mean for the economy.
It appears to be big, but it's actually not as big a problem as it might seem to be because the government's borrowing power is extremely good. We've still got a AAA credit rating. Every time we run out of gilt offer overseas, the money just pours in, and money's been pouring in every time that's occurred. So I think it'll smooth its way out so the government can borrow its way out of this if it needs to. I don't think they'll tax their way out of it. I think that should be off the table, particularly going into an election. And in the longer term, of course, we have the state assets that can be freed up for sale, raising about $5 billion to $7 billion that way.
What about coal and oil?
Coal and oil are really the secret asset that's been sitting in the ground for so long. The news last week that Bathurst Resources from West Australia had consents to mine in the Buller, now waiting for the appeals process, which will take about 6 months, and then you'll see some real action on the other side of the island. Oil, well, the geological experts have been meeting in Queenstown the last few days. Lots of papers down there. We are potentially sitting on big assets offshore, and the Crown has responded by saying it's going to open up the permit process more widely, and that's designed to encourage people in. This government is really pro-oil.
What about local companies and what they're doing?
On the local company front, I just note that one of our local accountants, Sue Sheldon, who's now a professional director, is going to be the chairman of Chorus, which is the part of Telecom splitting off, provided the shareholders vote on that later this year. That board has been confirmed today. At the same time that the Telecom CEO, Dr. Paul Reynolds, has confirmed that he'll be leaving next year, but after he does the split of Telecom into these two businesses.
What else is happening that everybody should be noting?
Well, the currency's high again, Rob. It's 85. The banks think it'll go to 86. Raycon, who make those quartz oscillators that go into the chip technology that runs your mobile phone. Raycon's a very big manufacturer. Raycon came out today and said, look, our profit's taking a real hit with the currency where it is. We'll lose about $20 million off the top, and that's because the currency is so high. Now it's up 25% against the American dollar, up 20% against the pound sterling over the last 18 months. So some of these boys are feeling it, but overall the company reporting season has been very, very good, and it shows its growth coming back. We're seeing building permits, building consents rise, yet to be translated into construction, and some people are thinking the next year should be a good growth year.
Christchurch-based rapper Scribe has had some struggles with gambling in the past, but he now has a new event called Scribe With Me, which aims to raise awareness for problem gambling.
On a personal level, I am also a recovering gambling addict.
And so I felt compelled to get involved with this campaign because I can really relate to the addiction itself, and I really wanted to just use my my fame, if you like, for something more positive, and to help others that are in a similar situation.
Now you've got an event running, Scribe With Me. Tell me about this.
Scribe With Me is our competition, and we've had a lot of great responses and great entries into it, and it's basically a music literary competition, and we got our contestants to enter a rap or a poem or something to do with problem gambling, and we had an amazing response. We've got 21 regional winners, and right here is Hamish, who was our Canterbury regional winner.
All right.
Who had an amazing entry, and he won.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been an awesome competition. Yeah.
So this is something you've been running for, a couple of weeks, or it's something you've just keeping out there for a while, and then what happens at the end? There's a national winner?
Yeah, it's all leading up to the 1st of September, which is our gamble-free day.
Okay.
And that is when we're going to announce our big winner, and the big winner wins an iPad and a day with me.
Awesome. Hamish, I'm sure you're wanting to win that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So why did you go into it? Why did you think, you've got to write a rap and get involved?
I'm big on rap, so I like rap, and not only that, it's because I've seen the effects as well. My mum used to work at a pub, and I used to see the people and waste their money, and then they'd come back with stories the next day on why they can't pay rent or something, but it never came back to gambling. They didn't bring that point up, so I just thought make people more aware that that's got something to do with it as well. Yeah.
So do you think by getting involved with this, you're creating awareness as well for people that you know? And
yeah, definitely, most definitely. People that know me and that will hopefully will hear the song and stuff will get more aware of it. That's what I aim to do.
Cool. Now, do we get to hear it again as on the September 1st, or do we have maybe a little bit?
You might want to give a little sample right now.
Yeah, I can
okay.
Let it be choice, not chance, for when we choose to end the gambling. Put away your dollars, save them up, support your family. Listen, if you gamble, maybe after you'll be thanking me. Scribble like I'm Scribe, it's that kid in all communities. Addiction is from the poker lights flashing, and once your money's gone, you ask yourself what really happened. It was only just $1, which was made into 11. Now your wallet isn't heavy, and there isn't no exception.
Awesome. That's awesome. So what's it, Scribe, what's it like for you hearing these young people writing these, getting involved with this?
It's really awesome for me, and it's really inspirational to see young people being more aware of the effects of problem gambling, and talented people like Hamish, who has a lot of potential to do big things, I think, in New Zealand music. And so it's been an awesome thing just to see this come into fruition, and we're trying to really raise awareness within the young people as well, because there is a big trend with young people maybe hazardously gambling at the moment, but later on down the track can turn into problem gambling. So it's good to see the young people becoming more aware of the effects of problem gambling.
Yeah, okay. So Gamble Free Day is coming up. How important is choice, not chance as part of that?
So it's really about kind of spreading the message through using the Choice Not Chance campaign. But there's all sorts of problem gambling services around the country. We've actually got amazing services, and they're free. So we have a helpline, which is the 0800 number, 0800 654 655, and there's also regional services as well, face-to-face services that people can go to that are free, and so they're all running activities and events on Gamble Free Day as well. So there's lots of things going on in different communities, and including in Christchurch as well, which is fantastic.
Great. Now, Scribe, how are you doing? You're still in Christchurch. You've moved on.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm currently in Wellington. I'm looking forward to coming back once things are more safer here. But it's just been cool doing this gambling thing, and especially as a Cantabrian, our stats show that Canterbury actually is the leader in problem gambling and money spent on the pokies. So just as a Cantabrian, I really just want to get out there for all the Cantabrians out there to come on. Let's sort this out and do something about it.
That's CTV News. I'm Rob Kirk-Williams.
trust that my work will continue.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.